Hey everyone, welcome to homework section 4.8, looking at question 31. So you've done it, you've won the lottery, congratulations. And you have two payment plans, okay? So you can either take annual payments of $250,000 at the end of the year for the next 20 years, or other option is to get a lump sum payment of $2.4 million, somewhere around $2.4 million today. Okay, so those are your two options. So let's figure out how much. First part of part A is figuring out how much of those annual payments of $250,000 over the next 20 years, what's the present value of that today, okay? So we know our rate is 10%. We know it's over 20 years, and our payments is going to be $250,000. So we're going to get $250,000. And basically we want to know what's a better deal. So let's go ahead and use our present value function. In this case, we're not dealing with future value. And we're going to use a zero type because it's being paid at the end of the year. All right. So looks like the present value of those annual payments is 2.1 million, just over 2.1. So we're comparing these two values, but we'll discuss that in just a second. So let's punch that in here. Okay. So we've calculated the present value of those annual payments. And now the question is, well, which payoff would you choose? So obviously you want to choose the one that's worth more. So we're going to compare the present values of both, okay? Because we know the present value of the lump sum in the question, that 2.4 million, versus the present value that we just computed of those annual payments at a 10% investment rate, which is about 2.1. So it looks like we're going to go with this one. If you like money, we're going to get more of it in this case. Okay, so we're going to choose the lump sum. But why are we choosing lump sum? Well, because as we discussed, the present value is higher. Okay, so we're going to choose the lump sum because its present value is higher. Fantastic. Okay, so let's move on to part B. Part B, similar question. The only difference is the investment rate has changed. Okay, so the investment rate is actually lower. And remember, since we're discounting money, think about what's going to happen to that present value. Will it get bigger or smaller? Let's take a look. So in this case, the investment rate is 7%. Okay, nothing else changes. We're still going to be getting $250,000 over those 20 years. So we should be able to drag this over. Okay, wonderful. So in this case, because our discount rate, our investment rate is lower, it looks like our present value has increased. Okay, so in this case, let's punch that in. Okay, so now which one should we choose? Well, now it looks like the present value of the annual payments is more than the lump sum that was offered. Okay, so we're going to choose the annual payments of the $250,000 for 20 years because its present value is higher. Okay, so present value has changed. Now finally the question is going to ask us is, what is the investment rate? Will the annuity stream of the $250,000 be the same? Okay, so you can see that depending on the interest rate, our present values are going to change. So we've got to figure out, we're trying to solve for the rate at when it's the same. So in this case, let's punch in what we know. Well, we know we want the present value to be the 2 million or 2.4 million that was originally in the original lump sum option. Okay, our payments are still going to be $250,000, right? And we're still going to do it over 20 years, but we want to know what is the actual rate of this. So let's use our rate function. number of years, payment, present value, okay, so we should be able to get a rate there. So we have a rate of 8%. They want us to round to do 2 decimal spaces. So it looks like it's a clean 8%. Okay, excellent. So we can see there the rate that would be even to the present value of the question. So in other words, if we were offered an investment rate over the next 20 years at 8%, we could choose either the lump sum or the annual payments because they would be identical. All right, thanks for watching and happy financing.